Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice. Because today I'm doing something that's a little bit longer in coming than it should. I'm going to be doing a review of Marc Spector Moon Knight Volume 2. Now, I seem to remember when I did a review of Volume 1 that I said that it covered the longest running run of Moon Knight, and I was partially right because Marc Spector Moon Knight was the longest running run of Moon Knight, but it carries over into this book because it goes from Marc Spector Moon Knight 35 to 60, and the first one was only 1 through 34. So this has 35 through 60, Moon Knight Special Number 1, Web of Spider-Man 93-94, Moon Knight 1998, 1 through 4, Moon Knight 1999, 1 through 4, Black Panther 1998, 20 through 22. The reason why this book took so long for me to finish was because of issues 35 through 60 of Marc Spector Moon Knight. The first, 1 through 34 were written by Chuck Dixon. And despite some changes that he made in there by wiping out Stephen Grant, Jake Lockley, going back to him just being Marc Spector and Moon Knight, and having him run a corporation and all that stuff, it was still a pretty good series. It was really well done. Chuck Dixon is a good writer. But then, once it hit 35, they started doing some other writers. Who was this? They started doing all this run about a Midnight, Captain Midnight or whatever, his son taking over trying to become Moon Knight and all that. But then they, okay, let's see, where is this guy right here? Terry Kavanagh. He was the writer. And this guy just goes off on this wild tangent of getting into these like super metaphysical, supernatural type of stuff. And, I like, horror and supernatural stuff. Moon Knight was founded or introduced in a supernatural book, Werewolf by Night. So he does have, some there's reason for him being a lot, involved with it. But mainly he is up to this point, is a street level superhero. And street level superheroes are not meant to be going up against, like going into, dealing with demons and all this stuff. Let's leave that for the occult characters. Can't think of any. There's some Marvel ones and all that stuff, but it'd be like, leave them to people like Constantine and Zatanna. I know those are DC, but and don't take away street level people like that. And another part of it was him dealing with this, organization that was entrenched in trying to take over the world and stuff like that. Just teaming up with Punisher and Spider-Man to take over the Empire or whatever it is. So there was just these really extra stuff in there that it's like, dude, just keep them at street level. And so some of it got really hard to read, or at least for me anyway. And then the art got kind of, rough. And they even introduced, and I thought this was pretty bad, let me try and find this, a moon car. It's like, dude, really? You already have these claims that Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman. There are some similarities to which I can, you can try and make that claim. And there are those who say, no, it's not, and there's good arguments on either side. But then if you sit there and have him get a moon car, it's like, dude, really? You're just feeding into that, needlessly feeding into the comparison. And then it only lasts like 2 issues before it becomes like a Transformer or Autobot and tries to take over some stuff. And it was just these way out there stories. But then it gets canceled at issue 60. And he winds up dying. Marc Spector dies a lot. I mean, that was first issue of of the original series. He dies and is brought back to life. So there's then in the 1998 1 through 4, Doug Moench, is that how you pronounce it? The creator, his creator, brings him back. It's a 1 through 4. He starts to work on this, does the series, brings him back, wipes out a lot of what had been brought forth in Chuck Dixon's thing. He closes down Spectre Corp. He goes back to being Stephen Grant, bringing Lockley back in, gets rid of Spectre, just does a 4-parter so it gets everything set up. And then in 99, which was a fantastic series, which is February 1999, he is brought back fully, and let's see. I mean, they have him, and the art is back to being just so much better. Got his costume back correctly. They have him acting right. They have Merlane drawn correctly. I mean, and the art is just back to its standard for for Moon Knight, which was in the beginning of the run back in the 80s. So the problem with this is, while those last two by Munch, those 8 issues by Munch at the end, wasn't really enough to save this book. Because the first, 35? So first 25 issues were hard to slog through. I actually had to take a break for a little bit. And then they had the conference, and then they had 3 issues. The last 3 issues in here were an appearance by Moon Knight in Black Panther, which was a little weird. But so overall, I'm gonna have to give this, maybe if I'm feeling generous, a 2.75 out of 5, just because of that specifically the last 25. The first half, 3/4 of this omnibus is just dreadful, maybe too strong of a word, but yeah, not good. Especially after, that incredible first whole series by Munch, and then the whole that first half of the run by Dixon. Then the fall in quality on that was just disappointing. But anyway, so this one here, 2.75 out of 5, and I'm glad I have it because I want to be a completionist. I have every omnibus that is out, but I think there's still has to be one more published between this one and the one by Houston. You can see that right there, and that's right there's the space where this one was. There's supposed to be like at least one more in between there, which hasn't come out yet. So I might take a break and then wait for that other one to come out. Then read, or maybe just read another Omni and then go back to the last one. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the book. Let me know what you think if you've read it, what your opinions are. Like, subscribe, and most of all, try and enjoy your comics.